Major cities have significant housing backlogs, and this gathering was convened to discuss some of the solutions that need to be applied to this reality. Professor Ivan Turek says there's a policy vacuum when it comes to the exponential growth in the renting of backyard dwellings.
Well, one of the things that's been neglected in policy is the whole issue of backyard housing. We see the growth of informal settlements, which are very unsatisfactory in various ways, occupying land that is dangerous, that is hazardous, floodplains and so on, environmental systems. So we need to encourage more densification of our existing neighborhoods, and backyard housing is one way to do that.
The city of Ekurhuleni says it's facing significant housing backlogs, with some 190,000 households looking to be properly housed. While it welcomes the growth in the rental of backyard dwellings, noting that it's one of many different housing solutions available, it emphasizes the importance of ensuring that basic infrastructure is expanded to accommodate this development.
If we are going to, in a stand that was naturally designed to have one residential or one dwelling, and you are now putting 3 dwellings on that stand, the demand for sewerage, the demand for water, the demand for electricity will grow as such. So you need to make sure that your infrastructure is responsive to that. So that means there must be some intense investment in infrastructure upgrade. The pipes that we have underground, the energy capacity that we have, the roads that we have, and all of those. So there must be an effort, a concerted effort to invest in that infrastructure. And that is where we are beginning to relook at how do we use the USDG grants to make sure that we upgrade also the existing townships insofar as the infrastructure is concerned.
Players in the built environment space have long identified that housing demand outstrips supply and have been working to address this gap by bolstering house building and other skills, resulting in the provision of more housing stock while at the same time affording economic opportunities across the value chain.
What we have done within DEG around 2017, we saw the gaps on the ground when it comes to emerging construction companies and micro developers, and we established what we call today Contractor and Developer Academy, where we are capacitating the emerging construction companies, but also capacitating and mentoring the what we call micro developers. Remember, 31 years into our democracy, our people don't understand the property development space. And we are saying as DEG, the de-risking work that we are doing outside of the municipality is key, so that the micro developers who are building on the ground can start to build units that are safe, units that are sustainable, but in the process also contributing to employment creation.
Given fiscal constraints across all spheres of government, the private sector is being urged to enter the built environment space to build properties, particularly for low to middle income households. Developers are constantly working to find different funding for this kind of development.
I do think that there are possibilities that we have to look at within financing ourselves, particularly at first. We do realize as the forum that there is an ever-growing middle class, and we are actually trying to tap into this like middle class to actually bring them on board, to actually want to be involved in building legacy for themselves.
Academics say the City of Cape Town has led the charge in promoting small-scale affordable property by enabling homeowners and small enterprises to build small-scale rental properties to help plug the city's housing gaps. In order to ensure that developers build in line with national building regulations, the city has set up a local planning support office to provide the necessary advice.
It's a program that's focused on enabling small-scale rental in the city, both in terms of enabling homeowners and small enterprises to build small-scale rental, and on behalf of the city to make the residential areas accommodate this kind of densification. And the program is, in fact, and the program in June this year, the city amended their municipal planning bylaw, which allows, it gives land use rights in 194 areas of the city, where people are now allowed to build without having to apply for plan approval. They're now allowed to build up to 8 backyard units on their properties if they keep their existing house, and up to 12 rental units if they demolish their house.
Beyond enhancing basic service infrastructure in townships where there's been a growth in backyard rental dwellings, Professor Turek also noted that municipalities would have to invest in other amenities like green spaces, for example, in order to improve the surrounding environment where people live, with participants here saying that this conversation needs to translate into a national conversation and ultimately implementation. Nompamelo Ziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.